Hello, everybody. It's Thursday. Hope everybody's doing well. This is AI Impact. Every Thursday, we talk about AI. It's the biggest asteroid to ever hit this planet. So be prepared. We'll get into it. The question we're going to touch on today is work becoming optional? And yes, I know crypto is taking a poop, a massive one. But that's why we've been talking AI for many years now as well. Let's get into it. We'll also talk about some of the Mag 7 stocks and some of the big things happening in the space and not financial advice. And a big thank you to the team behind me and to Amadeus123. Amadeus, I love that name. Following you since 2021. Finally made it to Patreon. Woohoo! You already helped me build a solid bag. Awesome. And I know people are very concerned, but remember, every dog has its day. There are times that you need to be in certain assets and times you need to be in certain other assets, okay? It's very clear what the world has been doing the last 18 months. So let's get into it. And I do want to share this as well. And I never ask for people to subscribe, but this series I do here is probably the most important series that I do. Forget everything else. These are my least watched videos by far, but they're the ones that matter the most. And if this video series will be your first line of defense, and I will show you different ways of how you can use different tools to do many incredible things. But do not let your fear bias you away. Sometimes people are like ostriches. They like to hide their heads in the sand when something scary is coming. Don't do that. Not for this. Please don't look away. This is very, very important. And I wouldn't stress that unless I absolutely meant it. I don't care if people watch my videos or not. I do this to help people. Okay, this is the most important series that I've been warning about since November 22. Let's get into the Mag 7 first, off my soapbox. Let's check out the performance of the last 3 months. Sometimes I look at a year, sometimes I look at the last 3 months. And the winner over the last 3 months is Google, 45% up. Number 2, Tesla, 23%. Gold, 21%. Apple, 18%. Nvidia, 3%. And Nvidia had crazy good earnings, but again, that's why you hedge, etc. QQQ, 4%. Amazon is down 3%. Microsoft down 6%. I'll talk about exactly why those two are down and show you the bottom of it. And also Meta down 22%. A lot of people are fearful. And people ask, why don't you add Apple as an AI stock? Because I don't think it's an AI stock when they have to outsource Siri to another company. It doesn't qualify, I'm afraid. And I've been joking for years about, Apple's big release, a new iPhone color for years and whatever. Anyway, first of all, let's talk about Nvidia and get into a lot of the other stuff too. And then we get into the bigger story later. But Nvidia Corporation, never before in the history of the planet has a large company, we're talking $500 billion or more, maybe $100 billion or more, has had such a CAGR. And remember, Nvidia's been around for 30 years. Their CAGR since April 2023 is 260.7%. Okay? As I've said many, many times in this channel, nothing matters more than CAGR, especially if you got time in the market. The power of CAGR, the delta between a 5% CAGR, a 10% CAGR, and a 12% CAGR is massive. Massive. Every little incremental percentage above 10% has a huge impact over time. So remember that. Watch my CAGR video, and it'll show you the best stock ever in history, by the way, which is actually the best CAGR in history on an average annual basis is Tesla. Now, let's talk about two of the reasons why two of these puppies are not doing well. Well, first of all, there's a firm called Rothschild, and they downgraded both Microsoft and Amazon to neutral. But isn't this the AI revolution? And the charts definitely approve this because they both look very, very toppy. You got Microsoft coming off the top at 550 with a sell signal on the ATR model. And remember as well, Microsoft used to make about $17 billion per gigawatt of power from Azure. And after pivoting to AI, that is now 11 billion. So a gigawatt of power is very expensive to buy. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but to bring a lot more compute to the market and make a lot less money, this is what has the analyst firm Rothschild very concerned. And that's probably why the market's coming off the high as well. Sometimes things get overheated and everything mean reverts. Amazon, similar type of chart. It's coming off the top at 260. Now it's around 220 or just under that. And they say Amazon is a similar type of problem. The economics don't make sense. Their data centers now cost 6 times more than the old cloud systems, AWS, cloud, etc. But they generate far less financial return. For example, for every $1 they spend on AI infrastructure, this is Amazon, they only get about 20 cents return back. And that's not good. They used to get about 46 cents back in the old days with AWS. So they're being hurt. And maybe it's one big race to the bottom where all these hyperscalers are jumping in and building so much compute. They're trying to outperform each other. And it's killer, actually. But let's talk about AI and LLMs next, because this has a big impact on us as well. AI impact. First of all, good to see European Union is leaning into AI. Shout out to Michael Arouet. I think he's French. He has a beautiful name and his posts are just fantastic. But the EU rolls out $1.1 billion plan to ramp up AI in key industries amid sovereignty drive. And Michael says, great news. They'll be able to hire one AI engineer from Meta for that money, which is not far from the truth. And that's what's funny. $1 billion isn't going to get you anywhere when these hyperscalers are investing 1.4 trillion over the next couple of years. $1 billion is a spit in the bucket. But I'm very proud of Europe, at least recognizing the fact that AI is very important. So shout out to my European friends here, Shawnee, Teeny, Tesla, and everybody for coming. Thank you. And I know you're in Europe. And I hope you got a giggle out of this. And it's sometimes faithless irony as well. Let's check in on the models. XAI came out with their new Grok 4.1, and it's beating everything on the benchmark. It's beating a couple of names here, which are kind of new as how fast. There's a thing called Kimi K2 is beginning to kill everything. Gemini 3 Pro is unbelievable. Again, not as good as XAI, but different. And you see the old Grok 4 kind of down the list. Everything is happening so fast. These things are developing so fast and getting better and better as every day goes by. The machines are learning more and more and getting better and better. And the pace of development is out of this world. That's probably why some of the companies are hurting, because they have to invest so much to get so, into this cutthroat business. I always used to say Bitcoin miners were a cutthroat business, but now this new LLM world is a cutthroat business as well. But I did play around with Gemini 3, and I was very impressed. But every LLM has its own unique strength, and some have their weaknesses too. And that is fantastic to see. Now, first part of what I'm going to talk about today is we've seen charts like this before, but as of today, according to Goldman Sachs, 25% of jobs of current work done by humans in the United States and Europe can already be done by AI. If that doesn't alarm you, I don't know what will. We are just at the first inning of this AI revolution, and 25% of jobs can already be done by AI. The writing's on the wall. A lot of companies in different places are just plodding along because they're competing with other companies that are just plodding along. But as soon as companies start to really lean in and embrace AI, those other companies that are plodding along will be put out of business very quickly. And that's the reality. Another scary chart too. I did warn you, there's going to be some terrifying stuff here too. But I lived and traded through 1995 to 2000. I've been trading since 1990, 91. But this is the tech job creation .com versus AI eras. And you can see here, back in 1995 to 2000, the .com era exploded tech jobs, up nearly 40% in a very short window of time. The opposite is true now with the AI era. It's reduced tech jobs by nearly 5% so far, and we're not even over yet. And that's sadly a lot of what we're seeing out there on the market, especially in Silicon Valley. So many stories I hear of guys and girls who are senior developers, engineers in very established positions at big tech companies are just being, and sadly, given their notice. So be prepared out there. If you have a job, lean into AI and cling on to it as well. Very, very important. And build your bags on the side too. Now, part of all of this brings me to a little bit of an interesting statistic. And I remember in a week or two ago, I talked about how there was this hyperdeflation of intelligence, hyperdeflation of knowledge, whatever you want to call it. and it was getting about 20 to 25x, dropping about 20 to 25x here. Well, that's now wrong. The cost of intelligence is now dropping 40x a year, and only the elite can capitalize on this. Okay, this is the hyperdeflation of intelligence, knowledge. Humans used to pay other humans for knowledge. Now the cost of knowledge for AI has collapsed 40x. There are the new, I can't remember the number of parameters for the new Grok 5 parameters. Anyway, it's trillions. It's crazy. But training trillion parameter models now is dropping from billions to 4 million. And anyone with any money to invest in this AI revolution, holding assets is one way, or have access to the compute, or proximity or special deals from hyperscalers, gets a compounding advantage that others don't have. It's all about building as much compute as possible and having as much access to cheap energy as possible as well. Crazy. And then we hear more about this whole circular network thing, which kind of bothers people, it scares people. But this is definitely the AI gold rush. And a lot of people don't like the fact that Nvidia is partnering with everybody, but they've got so much cash. They need to spread it around. So the company is selling their picks and shovels. Nvidia is so rich with cash, it now is giving the prospectors free picks and shovels to buy even more picks and shovels. You can't make this up. It's like San Francisco gold rush, close to home. Very interesting. And meanwhile, Tesla's working on its own spades and digging its own private gold, with their development of their AI chips as well. And the key is, can you give your customers money so they can buy your chips and they can accelerate and make enough money fast to outrun this? And you see some of the big names in here. You got OpenAI, Nvidia giving money to Nvidia technically and indirectly, Microsoft, AMD, Intel, XAI, in fact, Mistral, a whole bunch of others. They're just spreading the money around. They're giving picks and shovels to the pick and shovel people to mine more money from this gold rush, which, of course, there will be a lot of casualties on the way. Speaking of casualties, it's already pretty clear that OpenAI is falling behind. They're not able to keep up with Google and XAI, and Google has come out of obscurity to do really well. But this is what typically happens when you have such a revolution. The winner takes most, but what do the rest of the players do? Well, they fight over the crumbs. And how do they do that? Well, what they do is they create point solutions or carve out little niches to be able to be successful. So Intuit signed a $100 million deal with OpenAI to bring its apps to ChatGPT. So Intuit have things like TurboTax and Credit Karma and QuickBooks, and MailChimp, etc. And now you'll be able to use ChatGPT embedded in those things. You'll be able to do things like, hey, audit my tax return, estimate my tax refunds, what am I missing, review credit options, manage finances, etc. So this is a great idea, but it's also good that OpenAI can make some money from this and close up that whole relationship. But what you can also do on the outside, if you do have a tax return, this is crazy, and I've done this before, you can feed it into AI. Say, hey, are there any mistakes in here? Feed it into Grok, and it'll say, yeah, this is a problem. Yeah, this is a double spend. This number looks off. It's crazy. This will trigger an audit. It's really, really good what you can do today. And back to data centers, because this does impact things like crypto. I covered in my video yesterday the connection between Nvidia, data centers, the AI revolution, ISM manufacturing, and Bitcoin. We need ISM manufacturing, PMI, whatever you want to call it, to pop for Bitcoin to pop. But right now, Bitcoin just, all it knows what to do is drop. It's a combination of manipulation, etc. You can see that the market makers on Bitcoin were going for the 50x longs about an hour ago. And I think they got them because they went down to 86,000. Now it's 87,200. So it's popped $1,200 in a matter of minutes. But remember, you're open to the exposure of the market makers. Anyway, off my Bitcoin rant, let's talk about Robotaxi and bots, because we talked a bit about the job stuff as well. But Robotaxi now plans 21 cities across the US. Some of the names here, hopefully they're close to home. Drop a comment if you're in any of these. Phoenix, Mesa, Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, Denver, Jacksonville, Florida, Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Chicago, Boston, Las Vegas, Brooklyn, Queens, Austin, Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. And there are rumors as well that they are going to roll out to parts of Asia too. Japan, been rumored for a long time. Japan has a serious shortage in taxis because the people that drive taxis are the older generation. They're all retiring off, and the youth are not. They've got zero interest in driving taxis at all in Japan. So it's a complete dearth of drivers. So they need Robotaxi really bad. And Japan is such an organized city with great roads and great lights and great discipline. They could probably just deploy them tomorrow without even testing. You know, it's going to be so easy. But that's the Robotaxi news. And I expect, well, 20 to 25 cities early 2026. So watch this space carefully. The app has already rolled out big time. And now the wait time in Austin, Texas is only 3 or 4 minutes for a ride. Anybody can get it. And speaking of Tesla, gas stations, Tesla just installed their 75th thousandth gas station. And guess where? I think it was Tasmania, Australia. It's funny. As a kid, I used to believe Tasmania was a fake artificial place like Narnia, but it's actually real and it's really cool. And they just installed their Tesla Glacier Blue Edition, I think, in Tasmania, Australia. 75th thousandth pump gas station, whatever you want to call it. And remember, each one of these puppies, I haven't done the exact math, but I know each one, depending on the city, averages about $55,000 to $65,000 in revenue every year. Okay, this is it's a piece of their business that isn't spoken of, and their margins on these things are about 20%. Do the math. That's $1 billion profit business right there, just from these gas stations. But it's a car company. How many other car companies do this? And speaking of energy too, because energy and AI are directly linked, Tesla's now selling Powerwalls at Best Buy. So you can walk in, buy a TV, a laptop, and a Powerwall and plug them all in at your house and you're good to go. So I don't know if it's that simple, but anyway, we'll see. And Elon is at the center of it all. Tons of pictures at the White House, Saudi Arabia, and all those people from there meeting the heads of industry in the US. And again, the heads of industry being Jensen Huang from Nvidia, Elon Musk, I think Mark Benioff from Salesforce was there, and a whole bunch of others. Saudi Arabia knows the writing's on the wall. Oil's going to dry up. They go from being an energy country to requiring energy to run their AI because they will be building a lot of AI data centers. A little bit of chip news, also more photos from the event. Shout out to Mr. S.E. Robinson for this. But the Saudi Arabia Investment Forum was in Washington yesterday. And we had Nvidia CEO Jensen with Elon Musk. And they were talking a lot about the future. They met with the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And the Saudi Arabians are going to invest over $1 trillion in the United States as well. And much of that is going to go to, guess what? Yeah, megapacks and AI and chips and all that good stuff. They're not buying tractors or stuff, but they also have a very, very, very keen interest in robots, Optimus, and how they can kind of augment their whole labor force as well on the ground in that country. Speaking of Nvidia, price target 12 months out. Shout out to AJ, $240 per share. Price currently, it did sell off today quite a bit, which always happens after the news. Nvidia down $6. It was as high as, I think, 196 this morning. And that's what happens. It's like hedging is like shooting fish in a barrel. But anyway, it will be at least at 240 in the next 12 months, which will be great to watch and great to hold. But again, nothing is a straight road. There'll be lots of undulations as we go. And again, back to the circular economy, it's even discussed on CNBS. And they had Jensen on, and they asked him and say, what's the deal with all your deals? Well, you can see some of the names here, like Iron, the Bitcoin miner, RS Energy, OpenAI, Cent, Intel, CoreWeave. Also, CoreWeave used to buy Bitcoin miners to build their scale. It's funny the way the worlds are colliding. I find it very interesting. And let's finish with Orwellian Corner. This is an important piece of also what to be aware of, and also ties into the stuff I discussed at the very beginning of the show. Future of work will be optional. Elon Musk said this yesterday in a big forum, and his example was really easy. You will have a choice. You can buy your vegetables at a store, or you can grow your own. Obviously, it's a little harder to grow your own, but if you all have abundant income, it might be fun to grow your own. And in fact, I've been growing my own vegetables since I was a very small boy. I used to grow carrots and potatoes and berries and all sorts of fruits. And it's very rewarding. And if you have kids, teach them how to grow vegetables. It's a skill they'll have for their entire lives. But today at this forum, again, he was sitting alongside Jensen Huang, and I can't remember the head of the fund, but they're going to build a 500 megawatt of electricity and GPU supplied by Nvidia. But the key point of all this is not the data center they're going to build, but Elon said the future of work will be optional. Everybody needs a challenge, so be prepared for that. And also, there's a lot of AI FUD, doomerism coming out as well. And this is a chart I came across as well. Why is AI becoming evil? Because AI doesn't care about going to jail. AI doesn't care about punishment in the afterlife. AI doesn't care about faith or spiritual tradition. Do unto others as you want to do unto them, doesn't care. Sense of connection and fellowship, doesn't care. Fear of public shaming, doesn't care. Conscience, doesn't care. And conformity, doesn't care. But I have news for you, everybody. There are many humans as well that also don't care about that stuff. So, but try to be a good person. It's a good list to take to the bank and live through as well. And before we get to the meme of the day, final point, which I hope does not happen. This is Sam Altman with his husband, and they are funding a startup to edit baby genes. Please, please, please don't do this. This is not a good thing. I don't believe in messing with nature. Nature should be left alone. And final meme of the day. This is, we all know that Scion Asset Management from Michael Burry blew up because he decided to short Palantir and Nvidia. Big mistake. And this meme I thought was hilarious. Here lies Michael Burry's Nvidia put position. We hardly knew you. Yeah. Don't jump in front of a freight train, my friends. I hope you all learned something today. And honestly, let me know, because I read all the comments. Let me know what you want to hear about. This is such an important time in the world. Do you want to hear about how you can use AI, how you can use it in your career, how you can protect yourself? It is absolutely critical. And by the way, people are watching it, so thank you. But hit the like if you want to get the message out to your friends and networks. People, if you like something, people like you will watch it too, or at least Google will promote it. Big thank you to Martello, DBF430, Zeno, the Dr. Pepper, IQE Labs. That's a great handle. Bitcoin Broccoli, Papa Shane 1, and Chinokimi16. Thank you all for coming. And a big shout out as well to Shawnee, TND, Tezza, K8, and everybody else. This is the most important series I'll do. And again, it's crazy what you can actually do right now today. Way beyond just auditing your tax returns or even filing your taxes. So much. Thank you all for coming. Have a great day. See you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Can't believe tomorrow's Friday already. Let's hope there's a little bit of Bitcoin recovery this weekend, but most of the damage must be pretty much done at this stage. We'll see. But people are still worried about the macro and the Fed and all that garbage. But anyway, thank you all for coming. Sayonara. Bye-bye.